Welcome to Global Forum, a platform for discussion of global issues from global perspectives. Today we are going to continue our discussion about immigration, and we have a very special guest here, that is Congressman Carson from Indiana, who is the second elected Muslim official in the US Congress, who is a member of the Muslim community. Let me also point out something that speaks very highly of this country, United States, that more Muslims have been elected to public offices after September 11 than ever before in the history of this country. 3 Muslims were elected to State Assembly just out of one city of St. Louis, Missouri. And now we have about 10 members of State Assembly and State Senates, 2 members of the US Congress, about 20 mayors, and about 30 or 40 city council members all over the United States. This is the largest number of elected Muslim officials ever in the history of the United States. It speaks highly of the United States as a country of tolerance. It speaks well of Muslims as productive citizens of this country. And it gives us great hope that we can work together to build a better United States. Welcome, Congressman.
It is an honor to be here. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Tell us a little bit about how you view increased Muslim participation in American politics.
Well, it's very critical. It's very important. Muslims have an important voice in this country. There are so many Muslim professionals. We have great Muslim physicians, attorneys, engineers, scientists. We have to have a greater presence in public life.
And I know that you and both Keith Ellison, as the top-ranking elected official, have played some role. Are you encouraged by the way the community is responding to your initiatives?
Oh, I'm very encouraged. Congressman Ellison and I talk about this very often. I'm very encouraged. The Muslims are fired up, if you will, about our presence, but we want greater presence. We see more Muslims running for Congress across the country. There's Sami Rasul, and there are others who we're excited about. But we have to have a greater Muslim presence politically and financially in order to get these efforts up and going.
Now let's talk a bit about immigration issue. And as I said earlier, there's a great connection between civil liberties and immigration.
Yes.
What's your perspective as a legislator at the federal level in terms of what kind of immigration policy can we expect?
Well, first of all, let me say that I have over a decade of law enforcement experience. Prior to coming to Congress, I was a member of the Indianapolis City County Council, and I was a police officer for the state of Indiana. I also served in Indiana's Department of Homeland Security in an anti-terrorism and major crimes unit, and we dealt with a lot of immigration issues. I believe that when we talk about immigration, many issues come to mind. We have border protection concerns, and we have national security concerns. The 12 million more men and women who are here, it's unrealistic for us to think that we can move everyone out of this country. But we have to say, hey, you're here, respect the process, respect those who have gone before you, and we want to work toward a comprehensive immigration plan that makes sure that will ensure all people have a pathway to citizenship, a comprehensive pathway to citizenship. But there are some who have been abusive, and there are some who give those who really want to come over here, make great contributions to this society, a bad name, and that's unfortunate.
Congressman, won't you say that the immigration policy at the same time is also labor policy in terms of getting cheap labor? What about doing justice to people whose cheap labor we exploit?
Well, you know, under this administration, we've had corporations who have benefited off of our immigrant population, particularly those who are undocumented. It's another form of slavery, if you will. We need leadership. I think Senator Barack Obama is the man for the job to offer the kind of bold leadership that will clamp down on these companies who practice these labor practices unfairly and illegally. He's the man for the job. And with this Congress, we're going to help him do it.
Excellent point, I think. But won't you say that even when we have a president as good as Senator Obama, that we still need to have people united and people clear-headed, having a clarity of purpose and discipline of organization?
Well, a president is only as good as his or her Congress. So as representatives, we have to be in Congress as active voices for our constituencies. What my constituency is saying is that, hey, we have a very significant Latino community. They're very supportive of my efforts and our efforts. And what they're saying is, hey, we love America. Some go deeper and say this is our country too, dating back hundreds of years, but that's another subject. But they're saying we love America. We're making great contributions to this country. Don't penalize us or give us a broad face because there are a few who abuse the system. Yes. On the flip side, you have South Asian brothers and sisters, Arab brothers and sisters, and others who come over here and who are labeled after post 9/11 with a broad stroke. Now everyone's looked at suspiciously. Coming out of law enforcement, we would get calls all the time. We get calls from individuals from rural Indiana saying, well, they're a group of people, my neighbors, they're chanting every morning around 5. They're praying, yes. Right? But what most Americans don't know, but what intelligence agencies do know, is that one of the greatest threats to our country, not coming from terrorists who claim Islam, they're coming from homegrown supremacist groups. Big misconception that has to be exposed, and more people need to learn about that. In relationship to your question, our constituencies are vocal. My constituency is very vocal on this issue. But we have to have a tight policy that seeks to get those who come in illegally and who abuse the system to the back of the line, if you will. I hate to use that language. And respect those who are law-abiding, who are following the process as they should. Respect them first and let them move along. But to those who have violated, they have to meet and have to pay back any fines or back taxes that they may owe. But those honorable citizens those honorable men and women who are working towards citizenship, we have to honor them, though.
But what do you think is the status of the relationship between Latino community and African American community at this time?
Well, speaking for Indianapolis, I can't speak nationwide. Indianapolis said there's a strong relationship. It's a growing relationship. There's been some difficulty over time due to misunderstandings, but in large part, we're talking about two groups that have experienced oppression in some form or another. So there's a commonality and a common bond there. Even if you look at the younger generation, with the hip-hop generation, the African-American and Latino generation, the younger generation, started the hip-hop movement. You can see it in the early with breakdancing itself. You see the influence of capoeira out of Brazil and other parts of Latin America and Africa fusing together, because you see these groups coming together with poetic and lyrical dexterity and this ingenuity where they're melding together. My wife's an educator, and we always talk about the disparities in our public school system. That's one of the reasons why I supported Barack Obama in reforming the No Child Left Behind Act and the language in there that discriminates, particularly against our English as second language students. African Americans and Latinos have a common struggle. In my community, they're growing, they're doing things together, and we're working to help build that family.
Thank you very much, sir. I know you have to go to other places. I thank you for your time, and this is only the beginning of many more interviews to come. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye.